great thing about Kevin Durant is, again, if he came to Boston, he is all about playing ball, getting better, and winning. I still, and maybe it's unfair, I can't get it out of my mind how he played in that series against the Celtics. For some reason, like, I'm not saying it supersedes everything he's done, because he had a hell of a regular season. I mean, how he played when he was healthy in the regular season, he might have been, again, it was like top-notch version of Kevin Durant in a way. And to see him and Tatum together, you talk about like almost carbon copies. They're about as close as it is. Obviously, KD's got a few inches on him, but they're both you put them as kind of the prototype, multi-dimensional forward, both of them. So I hear you. He's got a chip on his shoulder. I hear you about all of it. And for me, Bob, it's about the 2-year window. Like, I know people talk about Jaylen Brown 2 years from now. What's he going to do? To me, these days in pro sports, you're playing for this year and maybe a year from now. Right. You have no idea what's going to happen beyond that. So to me, if I'm making this straight, I'm saying, you know what? We're going to have a chance to win it all for the next 2 years. Well, you're going to have a chance to win it all with or without Kevin Durant in the next 2 years, aren't you?
I think so. That's why by the way, I'll get right to it. I do not want to make this deal. And I just do not. And I want to win with this team. I like the additions of Brogdon and Gallinari. I think it's conceivable that that's enough to get them where they need to be. I want to win with these guys. I don't need Kevin. This is me. I'm speaking as a fan now. I'm not speaking as some alleged writer. I'm speaking as a fan. I want to win with this group. I want to give these guys a chance. I love the way Brown played in the playoffs, in the finals. I like what he brings. I like that tenacity.
This group's better. This group got better with Brogdon and Gallo.
So
they got better.
We don't need him. I don't want to do it. I do not want to do it.
And you know what? I think I side with you, Bob. Now, again, if it's Jaylen, Derek White, and a pick, I'm super torn. I don't want to part with Marcus Smart because I think if you trade Jaylen and Marcus Smart, you're also getting rid of your two toughest dudes.
Oh, you are. You absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, let's break this down. Gary Washburn has a good thing in the Boston Globe today too. I don't know if you guys you guys are on the same page. I think with Gary, it was either today or yesterday. With the internet, I can't remember. I don't know when
it was yesterday.
Yeah, it's yesterday. It was a good piece, and I think that Gary falls in line with what you guys are saying.
I totally agree with what he does.
Yeah, what he said.
What did he say?
So, well, basically, he said that Durant's a great move, but the positives outweigh the negative in keeping Jaylen Brown. And the point that Gary made is that every summer that Jaylen's gotten better.
Yep.
Every summer Jaylen's gotten better. Like I did. First of all, I am a huge Jaylen Brown fan as a person and as a basketball player. I think as a person, I'm a huge fan of this guy. I've seen what this guy's done for people who are sick, charity. Yep. I mean, I still think his greatest achievement is going to be in politics when he's done. So I am a Jaylen Brown. I mean, I will work on the campaign. But I didn't think he would be this good. He has. Yeah, I mean,
he thought he could do this, Gary.
Yeah.
Nobody thought he could shoot.
I mean, yeah. So, so what's the thing he's got to work on now, Jeff? To me, is the handle, right? He's got to work on the handle.
Hard to work on. That's
right,
all.
But that's the thing, right? Every summer we've seen something. Now he has to work on the handle.
It might be what it is, okay? And even if it is, the one thing I'll say is, finally, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown complement one another, right? They're passing to each other. They're playing off one another. They're very different players. I think I would rather have that than two guys that I don't want to say completely duplicate one another, but are similar. And the chemistry was good last year. Brogdon coming in and Gallo coming in. I don't think that's going to change the chemistry at all. What's your take, Bob? Was the shake my head tweet from Jaylen Brown, was that simply just him saying, here we go again, my name involved in trade rumors? That's all that was, right?
I choose to look at it that way.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about losing him. I mean,
we got 2 years.
He's too stable. He gets it.
Yeah.
And again, however he feels this moment can change dramatically. Look at how he felt a year ago and look at how the team felt a year ago and then how they feel now as far as the organization, the build.
6 months
I'm
ago.
sure he's jealous of Jason Tatum and all the
Yeah.
accolades Jason Tatum gets, even though he went up and, Jaylen was clearly the better player on the biggest stage. I'm sure that frustrates him. But again, things can change. If Jaylen takes another step forward and becomes a top 10 player in the NBA, then we're talking about 1A and 1B. Right now, to me, still clearly the pecking order is Jason Tatum is one of the top 5 or 10 players, best players on the planet. Jaylen Brown, to me, is still a fringe all-star because of the fact that he still can't dribble in the half court. He still has to work in his decision-making. But he's a hell of a player. And like you said, Gary, he's gotten better every single year.
Yeah. Bob, let's talk about what we saw last year in the playoffs, because I'll throw this at you. Did we overrate the Celtics because they made it to the finals when Milwaukee was hurt, when obviously the Nets were in disarray? And could that cloud our judgment on how close they are?
I think your point about the Bucks is well taken. I have had this discussion with friends and fans about that idea that we have to remember they beat Milwaukee without Middleton, and that's not a little
difference.
That's not a little thing. That's a significant thing, and we'll never know. Yeah, I mean, we know how explosive they were at times in that series, but so yes, it should have you not being giddy about their chances of repeating. They're going to have to work at it, but say yes, that you have to. There's a but attached to beating Milwaukee.